In ancient times, the sacred mountain was sealed by the dwarf deities with five powerful.
Let's skip that boring part. Let's dig into business. I need your help.
Hey, where am I? This is a bit different from what I visited earlier.
Hey, come here quick.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
How dare you to interrupt my story? I am the mountain.
Well, as I was saying, this is the Misty Mountain and has two things about it. One, it's filled with golds and diamonds. And there is some kind of weird magic.
What was the last part?
Instead, you can mine any dwarf streams, and all you need is a pickaxe.
Any dwarf streams?
Welcome everyone. Today it's morning and a brand new week has started. I hope that you had an amazing weekend and I hope that your week started well as well. So we're here with the Pickaxe Master. Hey Gibbage, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Bruno. I'm good. Let us know how the fam is doing in the chat. Yeah,
Hell
all
yeah.
good.
Type in, let us know how your weekend was. And today we're going to have a stream that is about mining and we will be discussing about NFT utility. For Monday streams, we have come to a place that we found that it's a good space to not only be mining, but also to discuss a couple of topics that go around either game maker, game economy, game mechanics, NFTs, Web3. So it's pretty much a very good space for us to have a slow debate and discussion about these topics. And this one in particular, I would say I'm very intrigued on what's your opinion and what's your take on this because NFT utility can be so many things. There's so much extent to it. So let's. I'm very curious on what you have to say, what you value the most, and what you expect the most to get out of the NFT utility Either it's the Pickaxe Master, any other sandbox project, or any NFT project, let's say. But before we go into that, let's give a warm welcome to everyone that has joined us now. So we've got here in the chat Vox Machina Studios. Welcome. And we're going to have something very cool that has been sponsored by Vox Machina. Let me check. In next week. Yeah. Stay tuned. Next Monday, there's some surprises here sponsored by Vox Machina Studios. We've got Wapax, we've got 322 confirmed, OG Shakespeare, and hey, Shakespeare. I have to be honest, you stream on a very not in a very hard time for myself to join in, but I've seen those replay videos, those VOD files, and the kind of current race you're making, the type of destruction derby game. It looks mad fun. I wish I was online at that hour just to be there and play with you. That looks mad fun, and I gotta keep going, man. That is looking awesome. So keep it going. Lil, how you doing? And how your stream's doing as well? And thank you for putting up all those amazing streams that you put up every time, and you keep all these community. You're some sort of the glue of this community as well. You keep everyone together. Got Noble Arcade in the house. Hell yeah. One of the most present miners in the house. Mosquito as well, too. MLD Tech going for the first places here in the best miner leaderboards. We got the 7 Summits Mountaineer. Hello, how you doing, PG? And if you are not paying attention to it yet, the 7 Summits Mountaineer, they have some sort of warm-up as well game. So it's not the final version, it's a demo version. And correct me if I'm saying something wrong here. And there's a couple of prizes if you do so, if you participate. So go check on it. Check for the 7 Summits, the Mountaineer, as there have been a plenty of good prizes and challenges there as well. Let's try welcome, and now that we have reached the last message, I would say, welcome everyone. How are you doing? And get ready to discuss NFT utility as we do some mining session as well. For you to participate on the mining session, you know what you got to do. You got to type in !LFM. By doing that, you'll get access to a Google Forms that is for general public access. Anyone and everyone should and are able to fill that one. If you're looking for a more private and exclusive one, which is for Pickaxe owners that own the Pickaxe NFT, you can find it in the Discord server. So please go there as well. It's already open as usual in the beginning of the stream, and you can fill both. Actually, you should fill both, because sometimes we do raffle from the general form, and other times we do raffle from the Pickaxe Massa NFT owners form. We usually interchange between those two. Faded Pain, how you doing? Let's get some more geek talk going, because I know you love it. Okay, starting with, we'll not start mining already. Maybe we can do some exploring while we do some of the talking as well. And welcome, Tavoxel. How you doing? Okay, maybe we're not going to start talking about NFT utility yet, and let's greet Alfdork that has already joined us now, and I would say probably rated us by the amount of messages that we're getting right now. Alfdork, thank you again for rating us. We decided to move back our Monday stream to the usual hour that we do on every other day of the week, which is 3 p.m. UTC. So we're back close to you one more time. Welcome, Tom Voxel, and congratulations and welcome by joining one of the mining clans, which is One Box Clan, the Impossible Ones. We got Fred and Ferd here in the house as well, which we had a very cool and good time on last Friday with those amazing multiplayer live tests on the test map, and we'll be doing more on the next Friday. We've got all 24K golds in the house as well, which has been doing some very, very amazing drops, or it's been teasing us with some very cool drops as well. I cannot wait to get my hands on that miner mech equipment set. So everyone, please stay tuned. Go check as well all24K Twitter, so he already gave plenty of beans when all of this will happen. So make sure you also get those beans and find yourself. And Alfdark, I gotta say, two things. One, are you up for a collab? We've been doing this back to back stream for quite over some months now, and I do feel like we should have Alfdark Pickaxe or something. I don't know. Let's talk in the DMs. Let us know if you're interested in doing something together. And second thing is regarding your invitation for D&D, the Dungeons and Dragons. Myself, I am very interested in knowing more about it. Even this weekend at uh, how do you call it? It's a son of my parents, so it's like someone I also know from very early age. Although we have quite age difference, but that person is getting also into D&D and was telling me more about D&D stuff, and I'm very intrigued. Always been, but even the curiosity even got bigger. So if you're looking for a new group and you need people to join in, as long it's during weekdays, I'm in. You can count me in. D&D. That kind of sounds like I think it's a CDC song. D&D, it's dynamite. D&D, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, sorry. Already had my moment. I saw that. O24K, the minor mech has great stats. Actually, I just want it for the cool looking. I don't mind about the stats. I just know it's a minor mech suit. I'm in. You got me there. Like, even the stats were bad. I don't care. I would get it anyway. Thank you for the words, Wapax. Hell yeah. Okay, now we got everyone in the house. Maybe we can. Oh, we got already that one there. Yeah, that's from Vox Machina Studios. That's pretty good looking, I have to say.
Indeed.
Hell yeah. G to the G, karaoke, the escape room artist. Welcome. You know what? We should use that mask today to see if we get some luck. Let's test it. Does it? What the stats? We got defense and just let's take a look at it. And speed. Speed. Okay, maybe we can mine faster with it.
Probably we run faster.
No, I don't think it's still implemented anything like that. I would not be surprised if that would be implemented soon. Not soon. Soon is a terrible word to say on this space, but would be coming anytime along the future. Because there's so many speed games being developed, and it does feel like speed could have such an important place as a stat to have a differential in terms how racing games can be played, and how like a bit of Gran Turismo. You play that game, give us
Yep.
somewhere along the lifetime. Like, that's a very old game. I remember playing that game for the first time when I was about 12. So it's a brand IP that's been very, very long time. So speed racing games does make a lot of sense that would be implemented in the future. Unless you try things that the mask, it reminds of Crash Bandicoot. I like the animation so much. Even reminds the mask.
It's well done. Very well done.
You remember The Mask, the movie?
Yep.
I had a terrible experience, not this weekend, but the last one. So I was just trying to, me and my girl, like, okay, what we're going to watch over Netflix? Like, it's weekend. Let's just, we don't watch many movies, but we're like, you know what? We're kind of tired. So let's watch a movie. And there was in Netflix, like Mask 2. I'm like, okay, Mask 1 was a great movie. I had lots of fun watching Jim Carrey doing all that crazy stuff. So why not? Let's go over Mask 2. Advice, do not watch it. It's terrible. It's cringe. It's very, very bad. Sorry, producers. Sorry for everyone that participated in the Mask 2, but that one just did not make up to its standards that we had with Jim Carrey and everything that happened on Mask 1. Either way. So today, our plan is to get some mining done, as usual, to get some mining activity here for our lucky miners. And we want to discuss with you about NFT utility, which is a topic that does not seem to be very much discussed within the sandbox community. or even sandbox projects that revolve around the sandbox ecosystem. And I would feel that it's one of the most important discussions there should be around any project that's around NFTs. And I would believe that this is just the beginning of what will be the future. So, where to start over the NFT utility kind of discussion? I have to be honest, I did not lay down any plan on where to go first and where to go after. So, this is going to be a bit of a freestyle, as usual, as well. So, NFT utility. Probably I'll start with the premise of what it is, the NFT utility. So, you're getting yourself an item, let's call it a digital item, which could be in many forms, but it's an item that lives on the blockchain, which makes it a non-fungible token, because we cannot have non-fungible tokens in the internet. At least it does not seem that you can get it like that. So having a project that's using the non-fungible tokens, which are NFTs, which I do believe also that will be a word that we use it now, but in the future it will be some sort of artifact word we used for this. It will go into just digital collectibles probably, or any type of word that is more mainstream. I would say NFT, it's not mainstream. It sounds complicated, it sounds weird, it sounds it's a concept to grasp on. But either way, NFTs, and especially with projects around Web3, we have been giving out projects that do promise utility, some others that they are just no roadmap, no utility, just vibes, or just for the art itself, which is also very viable as well, depending on what you're building, depending on what you want to bring to the world. So NFT utility has been quite of a discussion, as especially after the NFT boom ended that went along with the crypto bull run, which we're talking about probably last year, no, 2021, not last year. Last year was 2022 already. Yeah. So 2021, people were not even paying attention to what you could do with an NFT, or what type of utility you would get it within the project you were getting yourself into. I will not saying invest it to, because for you to invest, you need to be a shareholder of a company. By having an NFT, it could be a shareholder of a company, but unless the founders or the person that minted those NFTs actually state that it's part of a shareholder, it's just actually a product that that brand or that IP or that team or those founders are delivering it to the market. So I know it's kind of it's a tough thing to swallow, but that's the reality. Other, it's stated by law that the NFT has some, or it's written somewhere within the project or within the code or the smart contract, that NFT entitles to a shareholder of the company, of profits, of whatever. It's a product that you're buying from them. And that product might have or not have utility imbued to it. And after the crypto bull run, and there was much less liquidity in the market, so there were people who were not buying any project that was making any type of hype on Twitter, on Discord, and other. Uh, Also, we have Telegram. Hype itself was not strong enough. It was not the only reason that people were buying NFTs, mainly because hype, it's something that comes in and goes out, it fades away. And with that, if there's no real utility and there's no real project into what you're getting into, eventually with the fade going away, the price will also go away, and you will be left with the NFT that has no utility because it was never built or developed to have so. Which, in that case, if you're trying to get some profit over the market by buying something cheap and then selling something for more money, then you will not be find yourself in that position, because nothing was developed to value that collectible you were getting to. Having that said, people that were getting into the crypto NFT space were more looking into, okay, I'm going to buy this digital collectible, this unique token from the blockchain, and it's being made by this XYZ team. And what are the roadmap? What are the promises? What are the developing and what are they building? So I would say that all the players within the Web3 ecosystem were looking forward, or were going towards more into what can I do or what can I expect from this NFT. And I will not say that this is a meta or this is, or some is more right than wrong than others. It's not about that. Just stating something I was able to see with my own eyes, that the community were looking for projects that actually were going to bring value through the NFTs to the community. And we'll go over some examples soon as well. Also, just to make a parallel, there's other projects that saw, okay, some of them are going over the NFT utility, and we're just art, or we're just doing this for the sake of doing, because not all the times you need a reason to make things. You could be writing yourself a book just because, and you decide to mint every page as an NFT on the blockchain. And it does not go over that. It's already done. That's the premise of it. You can own a page as an NFT from this book of this person wrote. It could be either a song. It's already done. You get it, and you have, instead of listening through a Spotify that will pay pennies of royalties of that song to the creator, you'll be buying directly to him as a creator. So there's many different ways that NFTs can go around with their relationship from the creator to the consumer. Yeah, let's call it consumer to the consumer. So it could be just something as that's a celebration within the creator and the community as well. And it's pretty much that it's a celebration. So there's many forms of what an NFT could be in terms of the relationship with the community. And I'm sorry if I'm using some terms that you might not appreciate that much, but it's easier to say it like that, or at least it's more specific and more direct, and it's understandable in an easier way as well. So we kind of went down to NFTs in terms of before it was just a matter of hype, of exposure, that you would have new players coming in and getting into that ecosystem and buying the NFT. Then kind of evolved or changed a little bit into, okay, what do I can get as well from these, or what could I expect by getting this NFT, in terms of what's the roadmap, what's the development. And it's especially easier to see this if it's a gaming project, or it's a project that has a roadmap and they try to bring some value, they try to bring something to the community there that they're also building. Having that said, and let's make a small pause just to get the first raffle, I would say, and we can mine a little bit while we continue the conversation.
I was waiting till 25 minutes.
I saw you already got that. You're making some sort of pressure right there.
Let's shuffle and let's raffle the first. So this is for the Pickaxe owners, just because we're talking about utility.
Exactly. That's a very good parallelism there. We've got Bad Hornet in the house as well, which is a diamond pickaxe owners, one of the very few. And hey, Gibish, I just this weekend I just got to know that I'll be meeting one of the diamond pickaxe owners.
Ooh, nice.
It will be coming to the non-fungible conference over here at Lisbon during June. So I'm very excited to meet one of the legendary pickaxe owners. We've got Noble Arcade. Hey, congratulations. Let us know if you're watching the stream. And if you are, type in the chat what type of block do you want to mine. And taking some notes here. And the Seven Summits Mountaineer saying that utility for an NFT is like water for a fish. It could be, not all projects need to have utility. I would say that the more utility you can bring into an NFT, the better it is for the person that purchases it. But it's not needed. For example, art, in every specific form of art. The art itself, it's already the utility, I would say. For example, you listen to a music and you're not expecting to get something else from listening to the music except the music itself and what it makes feel you, what makes you feel. I would say, for example, I would remember buying yourself a CD or a cassette. If you bought those formats, you get yourself, for example, a booklet. The booklet that would contain the lyrics, it could contain some stories, also the thanks and some personal things from the band themselves or the artist. So we did not get novel arcades, so we're re-raffling. That would be, for example, some sort of extra utility that you could get in that art form. For example, a photographer, it's going to publish their photography. I would say the photography itself, oh, it looks like we're getting Bad Hornet in the house. So it's going to be a long, long mining session. Hell yeah. Here we go. Okay, I was like, does not want to stop. Congratulations, Bad Hornet. How are you doing today? And congratulations. You're nailing it really good on your timing once you join. So Bad Hornet is one of the Diamond Pickaxe owners. Let's confirm if he still has it in his wallet. And if so,
Guys.
hell yeah. Let us know what type of blocks you want to mine. And since you do have a diamond wallet, and that one, it has 500 hit points, we would recommend to stay only with gravel or stone, just because of the time that it's going to take to break the pickaxe. Rock or whatever.
Question,
Okay.
when the wheel spinned, did you hear the sound?
I did.
All right.
Did everyone listen to the sound of the beep, 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 as well?
I'm just trying to figure out how to set up the audio. You should be hearing sandbox and also the wheel. All
I
right.
also listened to the footsteps. Yep. We got stone to be chosen. All right. So I want everyone to please type in good luck over here on the chat so that Bad Hornet can get the most luck in here in the Misty Mountain. And I'm getting on my cell phone saying CPU overloaded. Well, it's not hot. I am only running this, so I'm not quite sure why I'm getting this message. Hey, Secret Meow, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Okay, continuing the conversation about NFT utility. We've got some here good lucks. Let me just highlight them so that Misty Mountain knows that we're sending good luck vibes here. And thank you everyone for those good luck messages as well. Okay, now coming back to NFT utility. Come on, Sapphire. Hell yeah, there's no Sapphire yet that has been dropped. So let's see if we're going to get one. Continuing the talk about NFT utility and making a parallel with what we're developing over here as well, and maybe talk about the sandbox ecosystem too. So probably NFT utility, it has a more direct relationship, especially when we talk about gaming. Oh, that was a play. I think we're good with so many blocks to be mined. I think it would not be bad. When we talk about gaming, and probably all of us are here because of gaming. I would say that, yeah, it's pretty much, I wouldn't say 99%, that's too much, 90% is still a very large amount of us that would have been at least somewhere in his life a gamer. It has a much more direct relationship with utility. You know that any game you're playing, you're getting items, and those items can be more or less scarce, and those items could be more or less usable. We got ourselves a silver nugget.
Yep.
In the game that you're playing. So knowing that the items that you're getting are usable and sometimes are very much in demand by the community that's playing that game, it makes now that item, if as an NFT, much more looked upon. So the utility itself, it's an item that you can use in game. But being an NFT and being interchangeable within the community just makes it an item that instead of having to go over third party websites, which could also be very fishy, that could contain malware, and just they're not this official websites, and usually they are not approved as websites to have the in-game items traded, and most of those games actually have in the terms and conditions to be they prohibit to trade those. Now NFT technology, the blockchain technology and NFT integration came here to change that, came here to change that scenario. And basically we were talking about games, the gaming industry being an industry that would revolve around 100 last numbers I've read, it was around $134 million per year. So it's a lot of money. I don't think I think it's billion of dollars actually, not millions. While the music, film industry, and I would probably so I think it was another one, but I'll just say the music and the film industry together were around about $50 billion per year, something like that. And the thing is that within those gaming companies, although the players were having already the fun. Oh, that's a
Some
good
gold
one.
ore.
Some gold ore. These type of environments allows that the players themselves can be part of the ecosystem. So those items you're getting from just playing the game, and that could be very rare items within that game. Now you have a legal way to trade those within the community that's also playing that game. And that's a game changer, to say the least. To know that whatever game you're playing, as long it's part of a blockchain type of environment and the in-game items, they're NFTs, it means that now you can trade them on a free market with everyone that's also playing the game, even people that are not playing the game. And these can come in so many forms. For example, we have some type of players that whenever they are trying to get into a new game, they just don't want to start from base level. They just want, you know what, I don't have much time to play. I do have my budget on what I want or what I can spend monthly into games. And you know what, I'm playing this game. And now that's in-game items. They're also NFTs. I'm just going to purchase this in-game armor, or I'm going to buy this really good weapon. I'm going to buy this really fast car or this strong gun. It depends on the type of game you're playing with. But the thing is that now you can embrace those type of players as well that do not want to go over all the tutorials from the beginning, and they just want to get the head start because they can, and now there's ways to do so, which is very good. It's going to embrace all type of players in a legal way. And welcome, Gush. How you doing? Hey, not many days and not many times we got to have you here. Pepe, Goldar. Hell yeah. Now, this brings back to NFT utility. So we can see already as some games could have the utility just from being able to trade them. That's already an utility itself. Those in-game items being free and being tradable, I would call it utility. That's the utility already in them. Now, if we go over the sandbox ecosystem and we talk about NFTs and utility, probably the first, and I'm not sure if it was the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. For members that have been here way longer than we have, and I would call this probably on Alflor, OG Shakespeare, and Tom Voxel, probably All24K as well, Vox Machina. So I think that's the sandbox lands were actually the first sandbox NFT. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think it was. On those lands, they're NFTs and they bring out the premise of utility as well. which is the most straightforward thing you can get, which is being able to publish your games, your experiences in the metaverse, in the sandbox metaverse and ecosystem. So that just gives a straightforward relationship with the main utility of the sandbox NFT. Oh, got it. Gosh. So it is making it is clearly the main utility that you would get from a sandbox land is to be able to publish your games and experience like this one that we have designed with the game maker and Vox Edit. So the assets, they were made on Vox Edit and then imported into the game account, and by importing into the game account we can use it on the game maker, which are both softwares that have been developed by the sandbox. Now, with the sandbox lands, which are the NFT that can make you put into use all of these programs, now you can publish it and have this game available to be played on the metaverse. We all know that it's not a function that's available at this stage, but we have been hinted that this year we will have the open metaverse. So it should be pretty much soon. Having that said, it brings out to our first case of NFT utility, and it is from the own sandbox ecosystem. So we would call it, for example, a sub or a byproduct from the sandbox ecosystem. So there's layers in here. There's ecosystem, there's a general ecosystem, and there's multiple smaller ecosystems that are being built on top of it. Pretty much like Ethereum chain and all the L2s, all the layer 2s, as Polygon, Arbitrarium, Optimism, etc., etc. So all of these games and all of these economies that are being developed on top of the sandbox ecosystem could also be called on some sort of layer 2s too. With that, we know that we have the sandbox lands as an NFT utility, and then later on there was the first assets that were from the creator fund that have been published. Those also serve as multiple purpose, and we would call it as an example from the items that have been published by the creator fund. So it's a way to have the first creators and have a curated selection of the first assets that go into the marketplace, that go from artists that have proved themselves that they are capable of drawing very good assets. They have been published, and you might think they could. I think that's from the creator fund. None of them come as a personal project. They just come as stuff that the sandbox requests them to do. But the thing here is, any sandbox asset, which could come from an equipment or could go into an asset, for example, a boulder, they can be purchased by any person, and they can be used within the game maker like we're using right now. So that's another type of utility, just the fact that you can buy an asset and you can put it into your experience. That makes a different type of utility into the asset itself. It might not be might not be the utility that everyone is looking for, but it's an utility. For example, this one would go more into the targets of creators. So creators would be more inclined to purchase a sandbox NFT just for the sake that they can use, and they'll find it that, okay, these would go perfect on the map, on the game, on the experience that I'm developing. And we've done that. We have purchased NFTs from the sandbox market just because, hey, we need this. What's available there? And we're like, okay, this one, it's a very good one that we found in the sandbox marketplace. We needed that asset, and we just purchased it just for the sake of using it on the map. So in terms of utility, it's matched up. Hell yeah, that's what I like to see.
Another gold door?
Yes. In terms of utility, that's what we expected from it. We bought something that we wanted to use to serve a purpose as a creator and game builder, and it served perfectly. So it kind of accomplished its mission. Bad Hornet saying, game is tight today. Hell yeah, you're having a great a great session, I would say. 2 gold ores, and if I'm not mistaken, you already had one before, which kind of makes you go into the second place. So you're threatening 3-2 place here. I think it's 3-2 that's on first place on both gold categories. And the 7 Summits Mountaineers saying, if an NFT give you music, the utility is the music. Sorry, the reply so late, I was playing. No worries.
Silver nugget. Another one.
All right.
So 2 silver nuggets.
Ibish, keep them coming. You're doing a wonderful job today.
This is Misty Mountain, not me. I'm just pressing buttons here.
Misty Mountain, you're doing great today, I have to say. So we went over the first assets that went into the Sandbox Marketplace. So their utility was, one, you could just find it very cool as an equipment set that you would get it. I like this, I want to use it. Or it could be an asset that you as a creator would use it. Maybe this mask is giving a lot of luck.
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe it's the diamond pickaxe that does not get to be used that much.
Maybe Misty Mountain is a bit scared of the mask. Something new in it.
I do not think of that. Maybe.
Jokes. Yeah.
Okay, another type of utility would be, for example, the stats. There are some members that would go to purchase Sandbox equipment because it has given a high roll in terms of the statistics that it has. So they're looking to get stronger, to get more speed, to get more, like we're talking about speed, that should be a function that could and should be implemented in the future, because there's many mechanics that could really rely, and it could drive very cool mechanics with speed. Those stats could also serve as the utility. So if you think as an in-game item, that would give you a power-up and give you a boost into the game you're playing. So having more defense, having more power, and now thinking on a sort of RPG type of system, you would have several classes as a tank. So you want to be able to get as much hits as you possibly could. So probably you're going for defense to have the most HP, so you could tank those. If you're a DPS, I think it's at DPS, damage per second. If you're a DPS type of player that you just want to not be in the, I'm not saying the front line, but you just want to add a lot of damage to the party you're going with, then you're going to look out most likely for power. Although there's not a speed attacking rate, so I would say speed could also have it has an opportunity to shine in here in terms of what would be how fast the attack is. And we know that many different games do have that included into their gameplay system, that speed, having more speed or more initiative in the weapon.
Silver nugget? Sorry, no.
No, you interrupt me anytime that anything drops. Otherwise, I'll not be able to keep track of it.
All right.
And there are several other type of mechanics that also could be implemented as well with the current gems mechanic that we have. For example, luck could be something that would translate into the critical chance, which is another type of mechanic that's very common to find in other type of role-playing games. Having that said, there's going to be some players that will find in equipment all the utility that they need for the sandbox ecosystem. They just want to play in very different type of games, and they're looking to be one of the strongest players in every different aspect. So they want to be, if they are needed to be a tank, they have a gear set that's filled with HP. If they want to be a damage dealer, they have a set that's full with power. If they want to be the quickest, well, these are functions that are not there, so this is just an assumption. You want to be the quickest, you would have a gear set full of speed. You want to be the luckiest, you would have a gear full of luck. And if there's some type of spell system which could have, for example, for the healer class, would rely on magic. But this is just speculation, because none of those, the latest one we've talked about, exists in the sandbox. We have to wait and see what's going to be developed. But the bottom line here is that there are some players that the utility that they're looking into their NFTs are based on the stats of the equipment that has been rolled. Some of the members in here do not care anything about assets because they're not trying to create a game or an experience. They just want to play and have fun playing. So having an asset that is just looks cool just because it's something that they might not be that interested. Now, going forward into other type of NFT utility, which also has been one of the groups that the Pickaxe Master is in. It was a sort of a topic that was around the weekend, and we were talking about monetization. And in this, we would go into one of the next sandbox NFTs as well, which were the alpha passes that were brought in the first season that happened, the first alpha season. So there were 5,000 alpha passes that were generated and were distributed to the community through raffles, through giveaways, contests. There were a lot of ways to get an alpha pass, and congratulations if you did get one. On those alpha passes, that's another NFT. It's another non-fungible token within the sandbox ecosystem, and it does provide a very different type of utility that's very different from all the others that we have discussed so far. So it's a pass. Being a pass, it's letting you enter something. And in this case, what it's letting you enter is the access to a play to earn. So basically, players, the community were playing, and by the end, they were earning by playing. So that's the concept, at least the initial concept of this Game Pass, which was the first one over the sandbox ecosystem. It was the Alpha Pass. So we kind of covered three types of different NFT utilities within the same sandbox ecosystem, which is the lands, which they're NFTs, but their utility is to grant the owners to be, oh, we got another silver nugget.
Yep.
So that makes it the fourth.
I think so. Yep.
Bad Hornets. Well done. So we've covered kind of 3 or 4 different NFT utility just on the same game, which were the lands. They grant you the utility to publish your own experience, your own game in the sandbox metaverse. We've covered equipment, which brings stats to players that want to get stronger. And we covered game passes that allow you to enter some game modes that will unlock prize pools, so you could have a share of some sort of winning depending on the game that it is. So that's still want a sapphire. we want you to have a sapphire, don't get us wrong. We hope you get a sapphire. So we're mining for you, and RNG gods will do the rest. So we've kind of covered 3 types of NFT utility, and if you're interested in this type of topic and you want us to approach any particular or specific thing about NFT utility, please type in the chat so we can read your comments, and we can also include that in this discussion as well. Okay, having that said, we'll talk about passes. And we'll talk about sandbox owned passes, which were the alpha pass. Now we can make some sort of parallelism into the Pickaxe Master, which are the Pickaxe NFTs. So the Pickaxe NFTs kind of bundles up 2 utilities into one, which is one that we talked about, which is the stats as an equipment. Some are better than the other. We do not control it. That's how it's being rolled. That's purely random when you mint an asset. But it's one sort of type of utility. For example, this Diamond Pickaxe. Would you go over inventory? Give us, please. Just to show what are the stats that the Diamond Pickaxe give. So we've got a total of 84 power on this one. So if you're looking as a damage dealer to have more strength or just to do more damage, these would be the type of NFTs you are looking for. It does bring that added value to the NFT. So it's itself a form of utility. Nonetheless, there's more into it. As you know, the Pickaxe NFTs, they serve as passes as well into the mining ecosystem. So they serve, boom. Well, it
Yeah,
happens.
I was thinking, will it hit both? So, yeah.
Well, clay plus dirt, it does get you the 5 hit points. So it kind of
It was
resets.
stone and dirt.
No, we mined one clay at one given
before.
point. The Pickaxe NFTs, they also give you access to the play to earn mining seasons. that's again the other type of mining pass. Don't buy, unless you're trying to say, don't buy diamond pickaxe, please. The mining session is too long. That's why we advise whenever we've got a diamond owner that gets chosen to be one of the lucky miners to get themselves to be only on gravel and stone. Otherwise, it would be very much. But hey, this is a system that allows playtime for you to choose the playtime that you want. So if you do not want to keep buying pickaxes all the time, you just want to buy a pickaxe with a lot of hit points and keep mining for a long time, this is the one you'll be looking for. And last you try it, don't get us wrong. We've got another 1 hour. We're going to raffle 3 lucky miners. And even though we would have gotten ourselves an iron pickaxe, it's still going as it was, because this is supposed to have some mining sessions in between these talks that we have for the Monday streams. So I kind of like it that it was a diamond pass, because it just give us much more time to be talking while we're mining. I feel like we're getting. Oh no, we did not get a prize on this one. Coming back here to the utility. So we've got the Pickaxe NFT that also serves as a game pass. So right now we can see that we have 2 types of utility within the same asset. So it's one, equipable, that gives you a boost, and second, it's a pass that will give you access to enter certain competitions that are play to earn. Having that said, we just wanted to have a parallel within what we explained earlier. Okay, I want to make a quick, a small break from this. It's been a long monologue, and I want to ask you, Givesh, from what we discussed about these 3 different type of utilities that you can find within the sandbox ecosystem, would you like to add something? Would you like to ask something? Or would you just want to give a different type of inputs or freestyle?
Well,
Yeah, I know it's not quite a question. I'm leaving
regarding the stats, I think it's quite interesting. And also just because of stats, it gives definitely some value to it. Just because those items are limited. Well, I did not heard. Did you talk about the longevity of, for example, of a asset? So at least, oh, for me, I really like the useful NFT. So yeah, the utility of the thing, but actually, like, having some real utility in an NFT, I think it's quite hard. And the another gold ore.
Oh, nice.
The one idea that I really like about NFTs is possibility to have some sort of files reachable to you. So basically, if you have an avatar, so that this avatar could be oh my god,
Incorporated.
the connection, yeah, the connection between different kind of file formats or different kind of universes. I think there is a lot of value that basically, if we have like disk mask right here, so we would like see this mask in some sort of other universe, and we would recognize it. So that's basically, but it's not very easy to reach that kind of point. So I think that at the moment, NFTs are still in development mode, development stage, where basically all of the people trying to figure out what is the not the best use, but all of the uses, and at least for me, what I really like about some NFTs that I saw, which really was intriguing, especially for me, was avatars which give you a Blender file, which give you a
Mm-hmm.
3D Max file, which give you all sorts of packets of files which you can use. For example, if you buy an avatar, um, specific avatar, you get files which you could use in other games. So and also what it could be like, we have some sort of skin. So for example, Minecraft has a free skin system where you can have your skin. So for example, if you buy some sort of avatar, it might also come with some skin in Minecraft that you can have, upload, because you don't have to buy it basically. Oh, another silver nugget. You get it by just owning a avatar and an NFT avatar, and basically the thing that I really like about that thing, that developers will add more value to that avatar and basically make bigger and bigger use cases for that specific avatar, um, just by making more platforms um, interconnected with that asset. Um, and I think that the thing, like for example, um, you could hack a game and just have it for free. So, and it's basically impossible to somehow stop this. So what did other companies did? They give some support or some features which the hackers would be unable to fulfill. So basically, they are fighting the hacking war by just giving the features to the user if you are buying the game. Um, and I think that's the same. So basically, all of the images, all of the 3D files, they could be replicated. But the value, I think, comes from the all of the all of the files, all of the interconnectivity with other metaverses. I don't know, maybe it's only one, but interconnectivity between the different kind of spaces. Um, and that's a really tough thing to develop. I think for at least I think that if you want to make Avatar in all of the main uh, universes that we are able to find in the gaming community, it's very hard to really make a project which has, as I'm saying, Minecraft skin, for example, sandbox avatar, Decentraland avatar, which one avatar has a bunch of use cases, not in just one metaverse, but it's just basically a useful file. So basically, what you get by owning the NFT, you get a useful file that you could use in any kind of way that you want. And I think that this is really useful because, for example, some projects like VRChat does not use money to buy avatars, but you can upload your own avatar. So basically, just by giving the files, for example, for an avatar, you could make a possibility to have your avatar in a whole new space. So for example, if new kind of game just explodes and it has a feature where you could upload your avatar, if your NFT project gives you the files, you could like be in there with your own property. So I really look into that future where
Mm-hmm.
basically all of the NFTs will be very useful as a file. At
I
least
would not be
yeah.
surprised. I would not be surprised, for example, some of the stuff you're talking about, it really reminded me of the Board Ape Yacht Club. So I just also wanted to give that one as an example in terms of utility, because they're pretty much they're pretty much not say putting the standards, but they're making some very incredible and unique type of things, and you would see them as the first movers to do so. Another silver nugget.
Six, six silver
Six.
nuggets.
And for example, you're talking about the avatars that you would get, for example, from a collection, from a project, and that's interchangeable. That would be the C. That's when you say that, I just reminding of some collections. For example, the oh
Seven.
hell yeah. For example, the Board Ape. So they're making their own game, which kind of feels like it's going to be their own metaverse because Yuga Labs also has other type of IPs, and they want to bundle up them all together into the same metaverse. So they all should have access to enter that. And also, you know that they're also bridged into the sandbox metaverse. So
I saw.
within
Yeah.
within one NFT, one file, you pretty much can enter different spaces and play in different games and different ecosystems as well. So it kind of reminded me, or at least my brain went into that direction. And also, now that we're talking about NFT utility, uh, I was thinking as well, for example, in terms of last you try. No, if you do not know, the legend and the tale here in the Misty Mountain is that these runes, these crystals that live here and that they were found in this mountain, is that they give the ability to have unlimited resources. So Bad Hornet is not draining all the resources from here. There's plenty of it for everyone. But that's another case, which is, for example, someone that was able to mint a Bored Ape from the time that they launched their collection on, I think it was April 21. From there, they got themselves airdropped. I think it was a serum that they were able to make a mutant. So they got another NFT out of that one for free, just to being there from the original collection. Then later on, they were the other side lands. So they got airdropped another land. And then they got airdropped the passes, just that from buying one NFT, they've been airdropped several NFTs. And in terms as utility, that which is our main topic here, this also has been some sort of like you get yourself like the highest tier of the collection of the IP from the brand, and then you get access to free stuff that the market decides how much they're valued. It's not
Well,
actually the team itself that value them.
yeah, but I think that the team which is developing for example, the universe has the most impact on the value because, for example, as you said, you mint one NFT and you get a bunch of these things just because developers keep developing.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I think that a lot of value is hidden right here just because there is people working on this idea and yeah, I think that's, at least for me, that's the main thing why I would want to own probably a Bored Ape because it's a big community developing some sort of thing. But yeah.
That kind of goes back into how we started, like when we were talking about the hype meta when it was 20,000 21, and everyone just buying NFTs pure out of hype and speculation, and actually when they were minted out there was just some trading back and forth and no real product, no real use case was being developed. So after the hype train was gone, their value, the value that was given by the community and perceived by everyone was involved in that ecosystem, being it fade away. For projects that continue to develop and continue to build, not only lasted longer, but they saw the interest from the public into what they were developing grow. And with that, of course, the prices of the entry of the ecosystem grew also with that. So you're very, very right on there. So the most active developers, the most active teams that they're developing, they get to see their brand, their product go beyond the sandbox. The sandbox, it's a team that's been developing for a long time, and they are very active on all the different aspects. So I'm not sure if everyone can see at least this is the way we would see, is that the way that Sandbox is developing things, they're not developing only one thing at a time. They're developing multiple things at the same time, which is a fairly complex and tough thing to do. So they're developing Vox Edit, which is a software. They're developing a game maker, which is another software, which is in connection with blockchain and NFTs. So
Regarding Vox Edit, I'm not
mhm,
sure if only the sandbox is developing it. Basically,
and
it's so useful software that I would expect that not only Sandbox is interested into Vox Edit.
but when you think about VoxEdit, you think of Sandbox as the at least the company that
Yep,
delivered the
yep.
product, let's call it like that. So that's one place they're developing the game maker. The second place that they're developing smart contracts. As you know, Sandbox smart contracts have been one of the most audited by Certic, which is one of the most auditing firms regarding smart contracts. They're also, and if I'm not mistaken, when they developed the ERC 1155 kind of token, the Sandbox was one of the teams that was involved into developing that type of smart contract. So in terms of technology development, they're very active too, which is pretty cool. It's another frontline that they are actively building. I would not be surprised if there are many other updates and developments in the future that comes from the Sandbox team. Then we have they're also building into creating play to earn ecosystem as an in-game economy, which you even if you don't want to believe it, this is there are companies dedicated only to these. There are companies that their purpose is being contacted by gaming studios. They go there and they say, "Hey, I want a gaming economy for this game. This is what my game is about. What can I have as a gaming economy?" And this company that is full of different type of experts in many fields, they would go there, bring their expertise, and give you solutions like, hey, you could put this type of game economy in your game, or you could use this to make your game in-game economy. That's another thing that developing. We kind of talked this quite for a long time and a lot of times, which in-game economies are one of the toughest things to make inside a game. And there's no perfect model, and there are models that work for the long run. And you would see that the games that have the most solid in-game economies are also tied up with the games that are standing still for the longest. And we would say, for example, EVE Online, which has a very, very strong economy. And for that reason, another Animoca Brands game, which is Star Atlas, decided to hire the person that designed EVE Online game economy to their team. This is how important these type of people are within a game development. For example, World of Warcraft, it's another game with another type of economy that's been there for a very long time. RuneScape, probably you've all heard about RuneScape and how old it is, and it's only that much played. And one of the main reasons that people play the game is because they want to craft. And by having a crafting system, you would need an in-game economy system as well that supports all that crafting and trading among the players. So if you take a look into the longevity and the games that have been played around for the longest, they do have some sort of in-game economy as well. So the sandbox as being into, and we're talking about game economies from a point of view that has been very much explored. And there's much information, much testing, and still there's no perfect model. Now we're talking about play to earn environment, which is fairly new. How long have we started to hear about play to earn? 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, maybe.
I
I
think,
would not.
at least for me, I think that the really big point was Counter-Strike Go, where people could get skins. I think right there it started to be a big reality. Though before there was like people who probably just game a lot, get the resources and sell it for real money. And is it play to earn? I don't know. I would not call it like that, but it was probably the beginnings um, of that.
Well, you would own that item, and for you owning, you would be able to sell. But with the CS, I'm pretty sure that they use third parties deals that were outside, for example, your Fortnite, the skins, they're tied into a game account. So if you ever wanted to sell a skin, you have to sell your game account because it's strictly tied up to it. And that's something that not all the gamers would be very fond of getting rid of their own game account just to be able to sell their skin on that specific game that they got it. So what I want to say is that play to earn, especially with esports as well, I think that was the first financially moment. That was the first financially move from playing, and you said it right, CS Go. So Counter Strike was actually the first type of esports that's. I remember actually they were quite for some time, but play to earn was still not a thing. You just know that there were
Yep.
some people playing, and they would just call it esports. And you know that
Yep.
there was some tournaments, they had real money as prizes, and people, the best players, were competing to get those prizes. But it was not even called a play to earn type of environment because only the best of the best would get access to it. So it was not some sort of democratic access where everyone is invited, everyone can partake and be part of that. So it was a very, very restrictive environment for only the best of the best. Uh, but yeah, that was probably the inception. That was the genesis of play to earn. I think it kind of grew from there. Like, okay, if these are the best and they can earn, if you scale it and tone it down into how could you turn into that the beginner level as well, and you have like some sort of pyramid into earning and playing within all the tiers of expertise, of game expertise on how good you are playing at a certain game. Play to earn environment kind of was born from there. But what I wanted to say is that play to earn environment and game in-game economy, it's fairly new. And also the sandbox is developing on that area as well. So what I wanted to say is that they're developing in so many different areas at the same time. And another one would be NFT utility. It's something that you have to put a lot of thought on. You have to do a lot of how do you call it? Like you have to run tests, and by running tests, you have to study it. You have to see the output. You have to see the results you're getting to see if it works on the long run. You have to make simulations as well. You have to make simulations that are turned on scalability, price volatility as well, and there's so many different type of factors to make this work in the long term as well. So I have to give a
Another silver
kudos.
nugget.
Oh, hell yeah. I have to give a kudo to Sandbox with what they're developing. And I think that is what attract us the most to that in the ecosystem, as it's something it's not easy to do, it's not easy to implement, and they're doing it so well in so many different front lines at the same time. Now, getting back into, I think we kind of deviated a little bit from the topic here of NFT utility. So let's bring it back again. We were talking about in the sandbox ecosystem of NFT utility. We talked about the first NFTs in the ecosystem, which were lands. And those lands, they had their own NFT utility, which is the premise of you being able to publish your own experiences, games into that land and being open for everyone in a metaverse. We've talked about NFT utility as just simple assets that would serve for creators. For example, we have purchased NFTs from the marketplace just because we needed and we wanted those assets because they would look good, and that was actually what we wanted on the map. So they serve that utility for us. They look good and they serve on the game that we're developing. We saw also another type of utility, which were stats, and this is more into a gaming point of view, which is what type of stats I am going to get, how strong am I going to get by getting this piece of equipment. So that's another form of NFT utility. And later on, the last one we discussed about, it was a game pass, and we referred to the alpha passes, and then did a parallel into our own game passes, which are the Pickaxe NFTs that they unlock and serve as a pass for you to enter the mining seasons.
One
Another
more
silver
silver nugget.
nugget. Bad Hornet, you're doing well. You're on fire, actually. The Misty Mountain is just pouring out. Okay, you talked about avatars, and also we have avatars within the sandbox ecosystem. So the first avatar collection that I do remember, it is the doggies. So it's a collection that was from which is from Snoop Dogg, and he made its own avatars, and there were some type of events that were only for Snoop Dogg avatars. So it kind of serves one as an avatar, as a cosmetic, as you, as someone that likes a brand or likes these artists to be part of a community, like a restricted community. Let's call it VIP. And again, at the same time, it serves as a game pass because it unlocks certain perks and certain features that only you, as an avatar owner, can get access to it. So there's also two types of utilities that are imbibed into one, and you can get both with only one NFT. So this also brings another type of value to avatars. And since then, we have seen a lot of collections either being bridged, either being created exclusively for the sandbox, but we have seen a growth of avatar collections that are now available to be played on the sandbox. Some of them have different ways of putting their features out there. I do not have so from all the collections that have been launched, apart from the seasons that are gated, so you need that avatar to enter that specific season, that specific experience, or to have access to that prize pool, I have not seen other use cases for avatar collections within the sandbox ecosystem. If you do, you that you're watching this, please let us know so that we can also look into it and learn more about it. What is Brizia75 saying?
That we for Diamond Pickaxe we also need a wagon to get all the prizes back. But sorry, Bruno, repeat your question. Basically, you're asking, is there any avatars? Could you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a reference that we got the pickaxe broken after
Yep.
After 45 minutes. 30 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. I think it's a good timing. You as a player getting a diamond pickaxe and being able to play and spend this amount of time and getting all these much resources, it feels a good deal to me. So what I was saying is that I've not seen yet any avatar collection that would bring more features rather than just having access to VIP content and have access to a dedicated prize pool within that avatar collection. So I'm curious if all of you that are part of many different avatar collection groups, that you've saw different type of utility and features that have been developed for the avatars themselves, which again, they're NFTs. Let us know right in the chat. We're very curious on that. We do have Care Bears. We do have the people of, this is from what we have here. Hey, oh my God, so many. Oh, wow. This is a full vault. Aokis did have, Kuniverse also had, People of Crypto also had, Care Bears also had. I think that World of Woman was not a sandbox collection. So they were bridged avatars. They have their own community, and like the Bored Apes, like the Meebits, what other type of collections? There are a couple of avatar collections that they were bridged into the sandbox and then add some campaigns, some seasons that happened in the sandbox ecosystem. But I just want to shout out to Bad Hornet, and within his mining session today, he got himself to win 9 silver nuggets and 3 silver ores, which makes 1.8 sand from the silver nugget and 1.5 from the gold ores, getting you a total of 3.2 sand, 3.3 sand actually today. So congratulations. This will be sent out later on to your wallet. It's very nice one, I have to say. Rabbits will too, and I'm pretty sure that all the sandbox avatar collections that have been partnered up with these IPs will have their own seasons as well. All right, getting into this avatar collection. So you do know that us in the Pickaxe Master, we will also have our own avatar collection, which will be a little bit more complicated than what we are used to. And they're related with tokenomics as well. They're related with many aspects of the game. It goes towards something new, I would say, that we have not seen yet here, and for that reason, we do not want to share it yet. We do want to share when we're able to share the new tokenomics. Well, actually, just the tokenomics, because we never shared the tokenomics that we have been developing for quite some time to make sure that it's really, really on top, that it really nails it. But with the new light paper that will come out with the new websites, we want to include all of this that will be avatars, their utility, what do they grant, what they do not, how they are integrated with the ecosystem, with the tokenomics. Many things that we cannot say, but yeah, just want to letting you know that we will be having those for this year, and it will be soon. So if you do not have a whitelist yet, make sure that you get yourself into that whitelist, as it will be a smaller collection than we originally projected. So having that said, we have to say that from the whitelist, there's many spots that have already been taken. There will be other perks. Oh my god, I want to talk. This is so hard to do. I want to talk about it so badly, but at the same time, I cannot. Life. What to do now? How to tell without tell? We just have to wait, don't we? It is what it is. Either way, Gibish, I do have to make a small break in here because I do drink a lot of water during these streams. And what if we do another raffle? We have
Yep,
a lot of
sure.
miners here that are waiting for their chance to mine, and we're pretty much into 1 hour and 20 minutes. So let's get another miner on the show.
All right, sure.
All right, I'll be
Let's
right back
get
in a
that wheel
moment.
here. Yeah, so we do need a wheel right here. So the next raffle will be for um, general raffle, so anyone can participate. So let's see the list. Yeah, the list is bigger. All right. So I will just double check if we have all of the participants. Let's shuffle a few times. And let's spin. Maybe, you know, the second then I see in the chat spin or raffle, then I will spin. Let's do it. Something more engaging. So when I see in the chat spin, then I will start to spin the wheel. Until then, I'm shuffling. Not I shuffling, but the wheel names are shuffling. Spin it! Thank you, Fred and Ferd. Oh yeah, that's right. So, all right, the wheel spinning. You should hear the effect. All right, slowing down. It's slowing down. Is it Vapex or is it Knobel? Sorry, your name. I'm not very good at reading. Okay, it's Vapex. Congrats, Vapex. Are you here? Yeah, of course you're here. I just saw you right here. All right, let's see what kind of pickaxe you have, if you do have. Right, the bits are coming. All right, so we will be mining with a gold pickaxe. And Wapex says he wants to mine stone. All right, so let's get there. We did mine a lot of stone, quite a lot of stone, though I feel like it will not be as hard to find some more, but it could get some trouble. So gold pickaxe. Let's equip it. And let's go. LFM. Alright. So yeah, so we mined a lot of stone with the gold pickaxe. Yeah, so congrats. Good lucks in the chat for the Wapex mining stone with the gold pickaxe. And yeah, we will see. So previously we mined quite a lot of stone. And I hope we still have enough. I'm pretty sure we do, but sometimes it gets a bit harder to find stone because there's quite a lot of stone which is a bit more hidden from the just regular overview points. So for example, right there, I can see up there a stone. So I'm pretty sure there is plenty of stone on the map, just we have to find it. All right, so another educational stone.
Hey, I'm back. And also, good luck, walkbacks. Got a good bunch of good lucks in here, so I'm going to highlight them. Make sure that the Misty Mountain is going to see this. And I do have a question for you, Gibish, and I have a question as well, the same question to everyone that's watching this stream, which is, what would you rather, as someone that's purchasing an NFT from a project, would you rather to purchase an NFT like the Bored Ape that would be airdropped from time to time, other NFTs that hold utility as well? Or would you rather just to buy one, and if you want to get those extras, they will be put up for sale, and you would buy them as you advance or as much you want to get into the ecosystem? So for one instance, it would be a more expensive price, especially now with all the royalty discussion that has been turned to almost into zero. So there's no much more support from that, and I would see prices. We kind of discussed that the last week, which were the royalty. So would you rather purchase an NFT that costs more, but you'll have access to more airdrops during the time, or would you rather buy a more cheaper NFT and buy whatever added-ons it's been putting up through time? And I'm going to ask that to you, Gibish, and everyone in the chat, so please type in.
We do have a silver nugget. Congrats, Wapex. So basically for me, I did purchase an NFT, which I did like, and just because of how it looked. It was an image. It is an image. And I did get dropped some more NFTs just because I owned one. So what I felt like, it's a really good dopamine kick. So basically, I was so happy that I owned it, and for me, it felt like, well, it's a very cool NFT. Like, I get stuff just because I own it. So in regards of the monkey that lives inside me, I was very, very happy with that kind of NFT. But when I look into the real value of the things, so even though that NFT that I was dropped does not have a real value, it had an emotional value on me.
That's important.
But yeah, so it's hard to tell. Basically, probably I would have to ask myself, what am I after? Am I after entertainment? Am I after the dopamine? Am I after value? So, and it's probably when we have that so many projects that try to create not that is developing in the crypto space. um, there is a lot of possibilities how things could be done. And at least for me, the situation that I just explained, where I did not know that I would get something dropped just because I own that thing, was very, very fun for me. But probably for other traders, for example, maybe those who are just flipping, for them, they don't want, one more thing to flip. They want the value. So it's
Unless you
very
got a
hard.
bored ape, because you know that
Maybe.
all of that will have value, but that's inherent.
But yeah, but do you know that it will have the value? So
For
it's
example, on the premium lands, on the roadmap for Sandbox for premium lands, they have stated that premium land owners will be airdropped with gems and catalysts. So it's kind of the same. You know that those will be highly searched upon. There will be a market for those. And they've said that, hey, if you own a premium land, then you'll be airdropped with some of this. They have not said how much or anything like that. No one knows the details, but they just said that you'll be airdropped this. So it kind of goes into that specific territory. Like I don't want to talk much about flippers because I don't think they're good for the ecosystem, as it only brings speculation to it and only brings members that are they're not trying to get involved with the project, they're not trying to play with the project, they're just trying to get money out of it. It could be anything. So they could be trading real estate, but they're trading, or they could be trading stocks, they could be trading apples, but they're
uh,
trading
h- in percentage, Bruno. How do you think, for example, the Bored Ape NFT, the percentage of price that was like added by the flippers? What would be the percentage that you would say that the price that all of the Bored
how much
Ape.
increased.
Yeah, basically, what is the additional value that added to the Bored Apes NFTs flippers? What kind of percentage did they add or minimize the value? It's hard to me to put this into words, but I think you get
Mm-hmm,
what I'm meaning.
Well, with the royalties that were enforced from the marketplace, and actually creators were getting something out of those trading volume, I would call it a good situation. But if you take the royalties out of the equation and it's just about pure money gambling and actually real in so actually, people that want to get, like Wapax is saying, that want to be part of a community and just want to be involved in the ecosystem because they believe in whatever it's being developed, they get excluded because of the high prices. And people that actually have it, they don't care about the project. They only care that it's being developed and that it's bringing value to them. So it's kind of rough topic over here.
Hmm. I do agree, because at least, I have to be honest with myself and all of the fam. At least the thing that really pushed me into, like, come on, keep researching into crypto and all of the NFT stuff, because I saw that there is value in it. So basically, I knew that I would get maybe something to eat if I research it. So basically, I think that no one would be really that much. There would be that much people inside of NFT space if it would be not related to the value. I think that it really adds uh, some people into the community just because of the value of
Hmm.
real. So um, I think that, well, flipping is a real part of the NFT things,
Hmm.
and it's a very important thing. At least I think for me, I think it's important thing because it's economy, it's market,
Hmm.
and basically only because there is market, there is a place for growth. If you cannot trade that thing, it cannot grow into something more. Um, maybe I'm not understanding
No, you
much
do
of
have
that,
you do have a
but
point
that's the
there.
view that I really I feel in myself, that why I am in crypto space in the first place. Right now, there is a lot of community, there is a lot of trust, a lot of things that build up inside. But the first moment, the first day that I decided, maybe I will research this, because why did I start Googling about crypto? Is because I saw that other people are able to make value out of that kind of situation. So I wanted to be part of it, because of course I want to eat, of course I want some food. So basically my brain is working like that. So I want food, I try to search places for it to able to get it. um so yeah, so I think that market and trading and ability to exchange is really important. And I would not I will ask the same ask a question as I asked you about the Bored Ape Club NFTs, and the value of how much the trading has added. So I would say that in the highest of the peaks, I think it's more than 50% of the value was made by just trading back and forth just to make it look big. And then when people start to think, this thing is really valued a lot, I will not sell it for any less than other friend is selling. And basically the
Hmm.
value is inflated. And I think once the developers add a lot of if the value is inflated, and if developers add only some features, the value will not drop. So basically it will drop a little bit, but will not drop to the same prices as it was, basically because there is more use cases right now, and it's basically now it's really more valuable, even if its price is a little bit inflated, not as much as before, just because we have a lot of utility, but it still could be inflated, which is, I think, useful for developers, for the traders, and probably I'm not sure who is getting the bad side of the stick if when we trading. So yeah, that's
You
only
have
my
no, you
thoughts
have
about
very, very, very important. You have a very thought that actually I was not taking in consideration. Yeah, just the fact that there's enough interest in the eco space that allows for people to have a market. That's very important. It actually shows how much a project is being. And my link got broken as well. I'm sending you a new link,
Oh,
Givesh.
all right, Bruno. um we'll
And
fix it right.
All24K is also saying something really cool here. Let me just post here really fast to you and get the camera back. Okay. And All24K say that that's why I am doing what I am doing. The inspire to learn model. Everyone has a chance to enter in the ecosystem with no barrier, with no cost barrier of entry other than attention. And that's another type of model as well, in terms of how to create a community, how to bring the value out of that NFT and the utility. So you're bringing community together that's about inspiring each others, and you do it very, very well. And if you are that's watching this stream do not know about All24K, aka Gold, make sure you click on his profile picture, put a follow there. He does stream very often and regularly, and you do want to catch some of the Gold vibes there, as Gold knows how to do his stuff, very good artist as well, and you could be making art and you be creating content together with him as well. So back again to the market point of view, that's a very good thinking about it, because without a market, and for example, the reason I started to go into the NFT, it was because of gaming, and from my gaming background, I used to have whenever I don't play many games. When I go into a game, I go like, this is my game. So I'm able to reach very high level type of accounts with very rare items. So when I stick to a game, I usually play it around for 5 to 7 years. If
Oh
I
wow.
get if I get sick of it, for example, one of the games I've been playing, which is a One Piece game. I've been playing it for over 3 years. I created one fantasy league, which I kind of have to step out to make the Pickaxe master, and there are other moderators that are still continuing that legacy. But I do casually when I have some free 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I do play it, and I do have an end game account. And other games I would play in the past, I have all of these type of end game accounts with very rare items and very rare things that are available in the game. And one sad thing is when I got fed up of that game, I got bored because I was playing too long and there wasn't, I just had enough of that game and I quit playing games for many different reasons. Like yourself, there's not one reason why you stop playing games. There's many. It could be from lack of interest, lack of content, lack of time, lack of community. There's so many variables into it. But the thing is that I got these really high-end accounts that I was playing for 5-7 years, and then it was just like, hey, goodbye account, you're done, it's over. Although I know there was an economy there were other players that wanted my items, and most of them, when I left, I was part of guilds. I'm also very into guilds. I just left my items like, okay, I'm going to quit this game. Now it's for good, I'm pretty sure. So I'm like, hey, you take this, and I would just distribute my in-game wealth among everyone. But having the blockchain technology, which in-game items are actually NFTs, whenever I decide to change game, I was like, okay, I did invest a lot of time into this. And most of the times also money. I would buy battle passes or subscriptions or stuff inside the game. You know how this goes. And that way, when I was about to quit that ecosystem, I could get actually not what I put it into that game, but maybe sometimes even more. And I could take those funds and then go into another game and some sort of reinvest those funds for my own entertainment. So it's a cycle of, let me explain this. So you would start a game, you grow yourself an account and you're tired of that game, you invested yourself some time and you want to play a different game. And you would take those resources that you built in that game, you would sell them, you would get a fiat out of them. It could be euro, could be dollars, could be any type of currency. And then, hey, I'm going to play on these other games. So if you have, for example, yourself a monthly gaming budget, which I know a lot of people have, like, okay, this is the amount of money I'm going to spend with games for this month. And every month they would either buy a skin, buy a gun, buy a new game, or I would take that into my bundle of games fund and start a new game. I would play into that game and then I would start already with some baggage. Okay, now I'm playing this. I really like this. This is the game I'm going to spend my time. So after studying, I know that this equipment is really good, or this type of skin is really good, or this gun, or this whatever, and I can already have a head start whenever I'm starting to play that game. And I could be playing that game for, again, a couple of years. And whenever I'm done with that game, and also I grew my own account with it, and I wanted to trade games, I would be able to sell those in-game items, have my funding as well, and then go into the next game. So what happens for me is that I've spent a lot of money into one game, then I started playing, and what I did, I just had to distribute whatever in-game items I had within the community I was playing with. And then I decided to trade, and I had to start from scratch again and invest my time and money as well to get some in-game purchase and play the game. And whenever I got fed up, change into a new one. So basically, I'm always putting in. And this type of NFT ecosystem, it would allow me, in my gamer point of view, to play one game. Whenever I'm fed up, that's finance I would get out of him, I would be able to put into another. So instead of always be putting up, I would have like, okay, I'm going to spend this, and this is my starting point. And whatever I'm able to grow from playing the game, I would be able to trade within games and always have a feeling like I'm not spending that much money into new games. So basically, it would be some sort of recycling within the money I've been spending, what I'll be getting, and getting to a new game. This from I entered the NFT and crypto space out of a pure gamer's point of view. So when I discovered the sandbox, also with all of my creator background too, it's just like, okay, this is the perfect combination. You can bring player, so my gamer side gets happy and my creator side gets happy as well. So this is a perfect wedding, perfect match. So that's when both things got combined, and hey, here we are. So yeah, having a real market, it actually, now that you said it, so it means that there's an active player ecosystem. There's a demand, there's a search for certain items, and what it makes sometimes the price goes volatile, of it's more expensive, more cheap, and there's room for traders like you would have, for example, in World of Warcraft or any other type of MMORPG. There are some people that they just want to buy low and then sell at a higher price later on in the game whenever the market fluctuates. And there's a lot of people that actually find fun in that activity.
Yep.
So I would say that's also healthy for a game system, as long there. I've seen in games also people create cartels and create some sort of organized where they would farm and control the whole economy and the whole ecosystem, and then dump the market, etc. So it can, this already happens. So having the NFT technology, it just powers up or boosts it of those things and behaviors to happen. But bottom line is that it means that there's a healthy ecosystem there.
Yeah, well, the thing that like you're talking about the possibility to just trade, I think it's actually a game changer. Like you're gaming and it changes the game. So I really think that basically before we did not have technology to do so. Right now we do have the technology to do so, and yeah. So and that's that. Basically, right now we're able to create games which in-game items does have value, real value for other people, and just because we are all gaming. um, and I think that the more the population grows, there will be more people who will be gaming.
And especially
And yeah.
like you're saying with interoperability, like for example, I would buy myself this avatar from this collection because I know with this avatar I have access to the sandbox, the other side, to the central land, and maybe other metaverse and other games. So if I got bored from this game, then I know that with the same avatar or this same NFT, I get access to enter all of the other ecosystems as well, which is kind of cool because with one item, you can actually get access to multiple things as well. So I think we're still very early into this new reality that we will be facing on in the future, which is you will see gaming as a different type of thing. So I would not be surprised if down the line you would get yourself a special gun that you can use. And this is purely imaginary, but you get yourself a gun that you can use either on Counter-Strike, on Battlefield, on Fortnite, and hey, it's a gun that's so famous that all the shooting games they say like, hey, I'm going to allow this gun, and now you have one
and
gun.
and if you need, you could go to Arsenal and get the real one.
Oh wow.
You trade your NFT into a real one, but unless you really need it and you have to, no, I'm not sure about
Special
it.
permissions for that.
Yeah, I did not say anything about guns. Sorry.
Ready Player One style. But hey, that was just one example. I would say, for example, any other type of example. Gold in here. We're mining and we can mine gold. I would not be surprised along down the line there would be a partnership between the Pickaxe Master and a gold exchange, and you will be able to trade some gold NFTs for real gold. For example, that we already have with Didona. It's a very specific use case that along the line when we are possible to get NFTs, in-game NFTs from playing this game, you'll be able to collect yourself gold ores, gold nuggets, and do crafting, and get yourself a gold pendant. And that's already a perfect example on how you integrate physical items with NFTs as well. So it's pretty much the same. I think it serves as just as an example. But yeah,
So,
NFT utility.
chat, let me know when to spin.
Oh,
When
okay.
I see a spin in the chat, we will spin. So I'm just thinking about raffling the pickaxe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 3 to 2 confirmed.
Hey, let's go. Good luck, everyone. And Wapax did want a silver nugget, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just taking notes here. Beep, beep.
Is it Wapex again? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Well, Wapex, you have much luck today. Much wow. Um, I think you could use it somehow. All right, so let's do it again. When I will see the first spin word in the chat.
Wapex already won today, so that's why we're re-raffling.
Yep.
We cannot have two winners at the same stream. Spin the wheel.
This is cool because we all could know how much of delay we have between each other. So
It's not that much.
no, not that much, but it's still noticeable thing. It's really interesting how does the internet functions. All right, so is it Shakespeare or is it Go West 927? It looks like it's the OG Shakespeare.
That was close. Hey Shakespeare, congratulations. You are today's lucky miner. Let us know if you're still watching the stream, and if you are, type in the chat what type of blocks you want to mine. Hey, hell yeah, gravel. So Shakespeare is already taking in consideration that a lot of stone was already mined. We already got 10 silver nuggets, 3
What a
silver
person.
ores.
What a person. He just one step, he thinks about everything, I think.
So probably right now, gravel does have more chances to get some loot.
Indeed. So, right, we're ready to mine. All right.
And I do not remember seeing. Okay, but before I make this question again, please type in good luck so that Shakespeare can get the most luck in here at the Misty Mountain and can get some really, really cool loot. So type in good luck, please.
All right, we do have some sort of message in the gravel.
So I would take first just as a mock-up and there as well. That's so weird. We have a double clearing system and it still gets some of that. Yeah, just get yourself a silver iron pickaxe just to clear out that message.
All right.
So we just need to mine some random thing to clear it out, to clear it away. Yeah, there's a this will happen in the very short term. There's an update that should fix all of this, so kind of looking forward to it. Okay.
Though even if we did had that message, like the RNG worked perfectly, we still do have the message.
That was weird.
Should I relaunch?
I think it's okay. I don't think that message would break any of the logic.
So we will use a gold pickaxe. And yeah, I see that at least for dropping, everything seems to be working fine. We did mine block and it dropped straight away.
All right, from our end here at the Pickaxe Master Shakespeare, good luck. We do hope that you get a lot of resources today. And I'm going to ask again because I do not remember seeing any responses to this. So what would you rather? A, get yourself a more expensive NFT that will grant you more drops during the course of time, or B, get yourself a cheaper NFT that gets you the entry to the community or the basic access, and then purchase all the other add-ons as separate NFTs. So we want to see what's your opinion on this. As we talked about, avatars there's coming, tokenomics they're coming, and we want to get to understand what you value the most, so that whatever we bring to you, it gets the closest to what you want. So please do answer to this. It's very important because it's strictly related to what this will be and how you will get things. We cannot tell you exactly what are the differences between idea A or option A and option 2 because that would go into much details at this stage. But yeah, come on, this is so hard. And the Seventh Summit saying, I like the idea of buying and get rewards every month. So like a pass system. Okay, so you would rather get yourself like a smaller entry cost every time that there's an NFT drop. And It's not only about game passes or monthly passes. There's more things that can be put up into the NFTs and more utility. And okay, the ones we're talking, it's not about talking about game passes. The game passes are the Pickaxe NFTs, and those are already out for the mining seasons. So it's on top of that. It's over that. Of course, the Pickaxe NFTs not only they serve as uh, their own utility as a game pass, but they're also part of the tokenomics and the ecosystem. Of course, they're a part of it. So we're big we do like utility very much. So all the assets that we put up, I would say that most likely 90% of them will have a very good will have a utility that's related to either the tokenomics or the game model that we're developing. Oh, you're talking about in general, not Pickaxe Master related. No worries, it's all good. So again, going to ask, what would you rather get yourself a more expensive type of NFT that would get you more access along the future with more drops, or would you rather get an NFT that costs less, but you would need to purchase later on some extras to keep developing or to get the most benefits from what you're getting, to get the most value out of it?
Um, I do have a strange feeling about this. So basically, I feel like if you're buying an NFT which promises you to bring more stuff,
Hmm.
it's like a loan. It's like um, uh, some sort of leap of faith.
Hmm.
And probably it depends on the person. Does he does the leap does he do the leap of faith? Because
Hmm.
for some people, I think leap of faith is no. Oh, the
We did
pickaxe
not
has
get
been
anything.
broken.
Ah, god
Yeah,
damn
I'm not
it.
sure,
Let's take a
but
look down there if that message was already cleared out.
but it does. Yeah, the message is no longer here,
Yeah,
so
it
it
should
did
have
clear
been.
out.
But we did not get
Um,
any prize. That was unlucky.
mm-mm.
Shakespeare, all the luck was drained today by Warpacks and Bad Hornets, and unfortunately, you did not get any prize on this one. But hey, next time, I'm pretty sure it will be better.
So yeah, so just finishing the idea that I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
share, that having something promised is a trust thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a lot of trust, you could do those things. But trust is very very expensive, not valued by the not valued by the ordinary value, but it's a very precious, oh, a good word, a very precious thing. And to destroy trust is very easy. And when you build on top of trust, I think it could be not as stable as it could be built on already done. So it's two different maybe approaches. When maybe um, you give in kind of sense that you will be getting later, or you get what you really want. So I think that it's quite different kind of approaches, quite different from the quite fundamental level
Mm-hmm.
of how to approach something. So at least for me, I feel like those two are very very different, and it, I think that as always there is a right tool for the right job.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing um, what is what and what is the outcome of those things is really important to know. But of course, preferences is probably much more important, even if So yeah, of
So
course.
yeah, just to complement this is that whenever it's going to be, whenever this information goes out, actually, those drops, you will already know what they will be, and basically so it's a whole system. It's all interconnected, so you'll know what they're entitled you or what you can do with it, and basically they'll be there since day one, most because they cannot live without one another. Let's say like this. It's just a different way of how you present it and how it's being delivered, and yeah.
OG Shakespeare, don't feel rigged. It's RNG gods. I'm pretty sure they will what is the word? But will grant you a lot of um, lucky minings. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's a luck thing which will come to your fortune later or sooner.
I do agree. OG Shakespeare. It was unfortunate. If you got to be the first one, probably you have gotten yourself some lucky drops. But hey, it happens sometimes, two times. And I gotta ask the Seven Summits if you're okay to tell. You have the most expensive NFT that I had or I have was 80K. I do not see that much expensive NFTs in the market. So kind of curious. Or where did you purchase that one? And 322 confirm says I prefer A, but really depends on the price. And
80K?
Art,
I'm not even sure I'm worth that much, but just
you're
a
worth
joke.
you're worth millions, Givesh.
uh, just a joke. Just a joke. Yeah.
A C11 from Star Atlas. Yeah, Star Atlas. It's that we talked about that one. So Star Atlas got themselves the I think it's lead economist, the game economy designer from Eve Online. So I'm very. There's only one thing I don't like about Star Atlas, which is the Solana blockchain. But that's personal preference. I don't want to bring that into the ears. But everything else from Star Atlas, it looks pretty much very amazing. I'm not into that type of space theme, but that's a personal taste. But just as a game concept, it looks very, very good and very well structured. I have to give a kudos on that because it feels like they're building something really cool over there, and I'm very positive we'll be hearing a lot about Star Atlas in the future as well. He did a PhD in game economy of Eve. There you go. And Eve Online is one of the eldest game economies that are there. Eve Online. Let me just take a look. I think that's from early 2000. Yeah, initial release date May of 2023, so that's 20 years into gaming that a game is online, especially for a MMORPG that has been online for 20 years. Very, very few titles deserve to be in that spot. If you search it, you'll see that there's very few games out there that last 20 years. Like most of the games, depending on the type of game, but I would say most of the games they will last between 6 months and 1 year, like the majority. One few will last between 1 year to 5 years. And getting into the 5 year mark, that's already like very few games last into the 5 year mark. Then from the 5 year to 10, it's a huge milestone. That's already a huge game that's out there. And from 10 years going forward, very few titles survive that. You've got Minecraft, you've got, I think Fortnite's already 10 years now. When was Fortnite done? Fortnite launch dates was 2017. So no, actually it's not that. It's 6 years, but still 6 years, it's already past that 5 year mark. So it already entered a very strict club of games that were able to survive long enough. But there's a handful of games that will go there. You have EVE Online, Minecraft, World of Warcraft, for example, Dungeons and Dragons. Let me see what type of games have lasted for over 10 years.
Well, Dungeons and Dragons are in the league of their own.
Yeah, they're their own league, yeah.
Yeah. I would consider Skyrim 10 years of updates and just content.
for example.
What more? What more?
You've got your
Would you
top
consider Counter Strike is
Counter Strike, Ultima Online. I'm just making a search here, and RuneScape, for example,
RuneScape? Yeah.
one of the games that I played, which is Anarchy Online, was from 2001, so it's been online for 22
Though
years.
with RuneScape, the old RuneScape, at least that I know, is not updated currently.
Hmm.
So does it though people there are people who are playing it, though is it considered
Then,
like
of
like
course,
a live game? Yeah. So
it is.
um yeah, I think that there is, sometimes there is a very small community of people which keep playing games. So, for example, a few days ago, me and Gush played Heroes 3. We
Oh, you
on the
got
weekend.
inspired
Yeah.
by that
Um,
conversation?
Probably somehow it happened, but yeah, but we with Gush connected and played some Heroes 3, and basically the game is almost 20 years old,
Hmm.
and there is still people playing it, even in the multiplayer.
Hmm.
So I guess that sometimes if the game, sometimes games could like survive for much longer just because of the community, and basically later on it could again become a trend, and again like up and downs, like something like really something relatable in life. So yeah, it's really hard category, to say that the
Hmm.
game is alive or dead. Like it's very hard to
If it has a
say.
community playing, even if there are no devs, I would say that the game is alive because the
All right.
game
Mm-hmm.
is made of people playing. And there's a couple of cases that the devs have abandoned projects, but the community just they love it. They keep
Mm-hmm.
playing, and the
Mm-hmm.
game is still alive. And I think that's it's one of those beautiful things
Mm-hmm.
that happen. That the game is so good that it's like okay, it's done. It needs no more updates, and it is what it is. And the game just keep people know the community knows that's some sort of the game they have abandoned, but it just keep playing because I'm having too much fun in here. I like this.
Yeah, a funny thought that just came in my mind. So we are alive, and basically when you're building something, you are spending your life on the thing that you're building. So you're
Hmm.
putting life into it, and if certain amount of life is put into it, it becomes alive. You don't have to keep running it. It's just alive.
It
So
is, and
yeah.
GTA has been around for years. Well, they do have multiple. So they have a series. That goes into so like the Grand Theft Auto. It's over 26 years, like Ian, the IT guy is saying, but it's not that
Mm-hmm.
same one. So it's not like GT. I think the first online one was GTA 3 because the 2 and 1 were still like sync from up. I remember playing Grand Theft Auto from the 1, and I kind of stopped on the
Again, a
thirds.
good question. Where do we start to to see the Grand Theft Auto as we know it?
Hmm.
And do we start to consider it from the Grand Theft Auto 3, as you said?
Hmm.
Or do we start like from the fifth? Like, do we consider each of them as a separate? Because in my case, I think San Andreas was the most impactful one, at least
I
in
would
my life.
I would say, for example, the Resident Evil has plenty of tiles, but is one
Hmm.
specific being played over and over? Like, is there an active community of people playing GTA 3 at this day?
Mm,
Probably not. So
I'm not
that
sure. So
I'm not sure
so
as well.
basically, why I'm thinking not sure. So there is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and basically I know that in Lithuania there is a huge community around that game. So basically, some kind of modders made San Andreas an online game,
Hmm. Okay.
and I know that there is plenty of Lithuanians who play that online San Andreas. It's called a SAMP, and basically it's wonderful game. They really modded a lot of features into there, and it's basically like Grand Theft Auto 5 online, just with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and it's way back in history. So um, how to consider? I'm seeing videos people are making of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas still playing it, that old game, while there is the Grand Theft Auto 5, the newer one. So probably there is some features, maybe some graphics, maybe some kind of nuances that people grow up to, and they are not okay to leave it. They
Mhm.
wanted to play that, and they're not okay with newer graphics or new content. They are fine with it what they have, and yeah. So just
Sometimes
saying,
some game mechanics just stick
yeah,
around, like, I don't care about the new graphics, new content.
and,
Like
and
that was
we
perfectly balanced before.
And we discussed with Gush, why does the Heroes 3 for us is such a good game? Why? What does it have? It does not have like HD graphic. It does not have like cutting edge strategy kind of way. There is a lot of strategy in there. A lot of the strategy, but it's not like all the games that we are able to see now. And still we are not playing, like Total War games. We're playing Heroes 3. And why? Why do we like those games? And at least for me, I'm afraid that that's probably just because I grew up with those games. I feel like
There's a
that's the most.
nostalgia feeling as well attached to
I
it.
feel
But
that's the
hey,
most honest answer.
the core loop has to be good, because no
Of
matter
course,
how
of
much
course.
nostalgia you could have from a game, if you play it after several ones and it's like, oh, this completely sucks, and you're just like, okay, I'm bored of it. I do remember when I was working in Angola, I did have a lot of free time because there's not much things you can do there, and I just got like, hey, I think my computer can handle a Nintendo 64 emulator. And I remember back then, I do not have one of those cards to save games, because you would need
Mm-hmm.
to purchase something to save, like a cartridge to put into your
Mm-hmm.
controller to be able to save games. And I do remember there were a couple of games that they were not compatible. So there were like some sort of error in between. So very early technology. Like, remember, you need a cartridge to save a game? That is so outdated. And I had one specific game that it was a
A
strategy
ledger.
game, not a, yeah, some sort of ledger of your own, your gameplay. So it was a game that I was not able to save, and it was a game that you were not able to complete within one game. Or even if I left it, the Nintendo 64 uh, turned on. Who has never done this? Leave your console turned on for over 24 hours so you could go to sleep and continue to play, but then the machine was so hot that you could just do like pick, and then it would break because the machine was so damn hot. And I don't know if this happened to you. Sometimes you would touch on your console and the game would break because either no.
I never did had a console in my youth. I'm started as a PC player, and I'm still a PC player.
Okay.
But regarding the heat, yeah, it's totally familiar with heat.
Yeah, so I had this game that I was very curious about it. I enjoyed it very much, but I had to. So I would my best gameplays was I would wake up in the morning, I would just grind it until a certain point where I was able to surpass my old session. Like, oh, now I'm over this. But then when I got at night, I was like, okay, I have to go to sleep. I have to turn off my console, and next day I would have to start all over again. And I really got intrigued by that game. It was some sort of you had some sort of commanders. You would have your own army. You would evolve your commanders, and you have to raid. You have to conquer. So yeah, there was a storyline, but basically you had to conquer these map. And I was never able to fulfill that. And hey, my computer can run it as a Nintendo 64 emulator. Like, what was the name of that title? I was always so I searched so much into all
Hmm.
Nintendo 64 titles, and then I was finally able to find it. And within the emulator, I was able to save the game. And only at when I was over 30 years old, I was able to complete that game. And although I did enjoy that nostalgia, like you're saying, and I would say the first 2 days I was playing, I was very engaged into it. I was like, okay, I remember these mechanics, but after some time, the nostalgia faded out. And when I was just left with the core mechanics, the core loop, it get to a point that, okay, this is kind of getting to a boring place. So if the core loop is not that good, or it is not that last longing, then having a game that is going to be played for over 10 years, probably it's not going to make the cut. And
Totally
that
agree.
game lasted long because I had to restart all over. I was not able to save the game. I had to start from the beginning and then trying to go over to the end without breaking, pausing, without being able to sleep or turn the console down.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Of course. The as you say, the main loop is probably what makes the biggest impact. Just because if there is no good gameplay loop, there will not be so much people, even young people, who will play the game, and later on when they grow up they come back to that. So if the main loop is not so good, there will not be as many people who come back to it. So yeah,
Yeah, it's sometimes,
of
and
course.
most of the times
Mhm.
it's not even about the graphics. For example, EVE Online,
Exactly.
from
Yeah.
from what I've heard, people are like making spreadsheets like of what they're buying, what they're mining, and what. So people to play this game, they're actively opening a spreadsheet and making like they're into accountability or something like that, and they get the fun out of it. So fun has no right way to go. If it
Yep.
make if you're entertained, you like it, and it's fun, good. There's no wrong formula there. But this is something that was actually into the core loop. People were actively making spreadsheets to register what were their seasons and what they had, what they did not have, and that's what make it last so long, because the core loop was very, very interesting. And hey, I feel like we're kind of get over the hour, and we do have a meeting very short, so this has been very fun stream, and actually a very good topics that we discussed. We kind of deviated a little bit towards the end about the NFT utility, and we're kind of sorry for that, but it was really fun to talk about just this last tiny bit about gaming. But Gibash, what do you say
Yep.
we close the stream and go back,
Yep.
come back on Wednesday?
Yep, of course. Thank you everyone for watching, sticking till the end, and just being with us. Thank you very much. We do appreciate. Though I do not see anyone streaming in the sandbox category. Is anyone willing to stream? Well, we will see. But yeah,
So go
thank
live
you
and carry on the
everyone
party.
from me, and yeah, let's
All
see
right.
you on Wednesdays.
Hell yeah. Let's see you on Wednesday. And again, thank you for being here and staying with us. Thank you, Alfdog, for reading us, and everyone that has started with us from the beginning or came through the raid. Again, one more time, I hope that you had fun. And we will be back on Wednesday for the Lucky Miner Day, which is a day dedicated only to mining and giving pickaxes to you. So stay tuned. And we will be passing the trailer and then also our NFT trailer. It's going to give some time if any of you wants to make some stream, and there's time for you to start it and prepare yourself. So we'll be passing those. If not, we'll try to look someone to raid. Hopefully we'll get a Sandfam here to start a stream that we can carry on this party into him or she. So everyone, have yourself a great week. It's Monday. There's a lot of possibilities ahead to make yourself the best possible week. So have a good one. See you on Wednesday. Cheers.
In ancient times, the secret mountain was sealed by the dwarf titans with 5 powerful.
Let's skip that boring part and let's dig into business. I need your help.
Hey, where am I? This is a bit different from what I visited earlier.
Hey, come here quick.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
How dare you to interrupt my story? I am the mountain.
Well, as I was saying, this is the Misty Mountain and has 2 things about it. One, it's filled with golds and diamonds. And there is some kind of weird magic.
What was the last part?
Instead, you can mine any dwarf streams, and all you need is a pickaxe.
Any dwarf streams?